showing you that at the time people knew the difference between the United States of America, Morocco, and everything else. The foundation of our empire was not laid in the gloomy age of superstition and ignorance, but in an epoch when the rights of mankind, you know what that is, were better understood and more clearly defined, meaning at a time when we didn't give the devil an inch, than in any former period. Researchers of the human mind, after social habits, have been carried to a great extent the treasures of knowledge acquired by the labors of philosophers, sages, and legislators through a long succession of years. These are laid open for you, and their collective wisdom may be happily applied to our form of government. The free cultivation of letters, the unbound extension of commerce, the progress and refinement of manner, the growing liberty of sentiment, and above all the divine lights of revelation have had a meliorating influence on mankind and increased the blessing of our society. At this auspicious period, the United States of America has come into existence. If their citizens, should not be completely content and happy, the fault will be their own. Such is the situation, and such be our prospects. But notwithstanding the cup of blessings thus reached out to us by them, if we had the disposition to seize the occasion and make it our own, yet it appears to me that there is an option still left to this country, the United States of America, us, whether they will respect and prosper. This is the time of their political probation, meaning us. This is the moment for the eyes of the whole world to turn upon them. This is the time to establish their national character. This is a favorable moment for them to give us such a tone to form this federal government. So that basically says that the United States of America, run by people like this, allow a federal incorporated state that would be a figurehead for people like this to re-educate Caucasoid slaves who had the right to function so long as we maintain our socio-political, spiritual, etherical boundaries and kept the devil or mankind in check. That didn't happen. And the only reason why he was allowed to do that was because he was the son of the prince, because at one time they was going to make this nigga the king of America, emperor of America, like his father. That's why, if you read the capitulation of Cornwallis, at the end of it, where allegedly Washington, the general of the United States, who was just an officer for us, went to General Cornwallis and accepted his surrender. But when he accepted Cornwallis' surrender, the United States agreed to pay Britain back $10 million worth in gold. Now, how is it if you fight in a war and you won and broke away, how you going to get the loser the money? Come on, man, that's common sense. Common sense. Because they never broke away from England. This nigga was schooled at the King's College. You know what King's College is? You know what it's called now? Columbia University. He was an esquire. He studied in a spot called the House of Burgess. Do the knowledge to that. Burgess. The House of Burgess is where you get the electoral college from. That was the original electoral college. That's where the Moors taught these bastards how to run a government. Benjamin Banneker Bey did not only lay out Washington, he gave them the science of government, ordinance, and defense. He taught them not only that, how to run a government, how to coin money, how to do all that shit. And they learned it at the Universal Apprentice Hall, the science of the law of life and government that we now today call the White House. But again, after the War of 1812, these crackers came in, burned the whole shit down, burned down the Library of Congress, and then redid it and painted it the way they look now. And because we believed that we all came over here as slaves from Africa and didn't have no knowledge of ourselves, we were just so weak, and this cracker was so strong and so omnipotent that he could just come in and just basically break a whole continent, that means he did. Because we allowed that bullshit to go down. Go to the next one. 1788, the news of Lord Cornwallis's surrender at the siege of Yorktown reached London. London's North Parliamentary ebbed away and resigned the following year. This was the decline of the old Moors in the old British Empire. They left because they found out that Cornwallis was losing. Same way that the Rothschilds did with the Napoleonic Wars when they put it out that Lord Wellington won. All of the Caucasoids or the amalgamated Moors pulled their money out the market. Rothschild came in, the news came in that Napoleon actually lost. Then they came in and bought everybody's stock on pennies on the dollar, and they've been ruling ever since. They did the same. This is where it came from. This is the first time they did it. George III finally accepted the defeat. They finally accepted defeat in North America and authorized the negotiation of peace with the Treaty of Paris and associated with the Treaty of Versailles, which were ratified in 1783. Now remember, George Washington did not officially become president until 1791. So who was president between 1776 and 1791? The former treaty provided the recognition of sovereignty status of each individual and independent former colony of Great Britain. The later required Great Britain to give up Florida to Spain, right? Due to knowledge. And grant access to the waters of Newfoundland to France. Because there was one family of Moors ruling all of Europe. Remember we showed the difference between the House of Ibelline and House of Guelph? There's a movie you could get called Kingdom of Heaven with Orlando Bloom. And it's about this, but it starts in the Crusades. And Orlando Bloom plays a Moor named Balian. And he comes from, and his father was the Baron of Ibelline. You know what I'm saying? And his father is rolling with Moors. There's two jet black Moors rolling with him. And of course they die first in the movie and shit, so they can't be the heroes. When John Adams was appointed American Minister to Britain in 1785, George had become resigned to the new relationship his country and the states. He told Adams, "I was the last to consent to the separation, but I would be the first to meet the friendship of the United States as an independent power." Why would he do that? Go back to the slide before this. Because his pops knew that his son was running the fucking house. You understand? You ever notice when Caucasians have businesses? When black people own businesses, they businesses be like, if it's like a thing, it'd be like if it's a barbershop, it'd be like fresh cuts or like, you know, like hairline, some other shit. When a cracker owns a business or barbershop or some shit, it'd be like Rothstein and Son, or this one and Son, or this one and Son. Because they understand the divine right of kings through the lineage of the father to the son, or the son and the father. They cut that part out of us when they cut people like him out of history. You see what I'm saying? Because you can't conquer people and allow them what it maintains them to be great. You can go back. Now peep this. This was before how the banner looked, how the crest looked. This is called the Fleur de Lis. This is a so-called Masonic symbol, or what the fake Masons call the Priory of Zion. You see this around. You see Rockaware with this on their shit now, and a couple other people. This is actually a symbol not only of the pineal hypothalamus and pituitary, it's also a symbol of father, mother, child. You know, the divine three. But when you get three of them together, so that's 3, 6, 9. So that's born. So they're showing you that this is born from the blue blood side of the family. Blue blood side of the family, the more way it gets a little deeper. Remember I told you about the Aiwass family. Aiwass is another version of saying Aiwass. Who is Aiwass? Another name for Aiwass is Iowa. This is why the Iowa caucuses are so important to any presidential election. Because that's where they do rituals to bring down and appease the